live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Miq Strawn.
So, what'd you think of the film?
It's kind of dumb.
It was good. It was just kind of weird.
It was boring to the last half.
It was better than the first one.
It was better than the first one.
No,
There you go. I like that.
I think it was kind of weird.
Okay,
But it was really scary.
Annabelle versus Freddy. Who wins?
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
I've never seen devil.
Yeah, she's kind of weird though. Like the demon version of her. It's kind of weird. She's like a sheep.
Okay. Jason? Michael Myers? Annabelle? How do I put this? How does it go? Mary? Okay. Mary F and kill. Okay. Come on, give it to me.
Okay, obviously kill Annabelle because...
Who's Michael Myers?
Michael Myers.
Halloween. Come on.
Halloween.
Come on.
Like that. You know the movie we watched kind of on Netflix. Kind of.
And who was the other guy?
You know
Jason.
the world.
With the mask.
Okay, they both have masks now.
No.
That's Jason, Michael Myers, Annabelle.
Kill Annabelle.
Kill Annabelle. Okay.
I'm very Jason.
No, good choice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Mary Chase?
Yeah, Jason's kind of a romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so okay, so Michael. Okay, well, you guys have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have something that's been bothering me. This is like a thorn, and I have to say something about this because it's irritating me. It's about vengeance.
Yes.
I was just looking at their little fan page on Facebook.
Yeah.
And they've announced something really big. The world premiere
Right.
of Vengeance.
It's in September.
And I want to know, why the is it in New Jersey? Why? I could have sworn the director was from the Seattle area, and half the people that were there.
They're doing them in.
Why not West Coast, though, is my question.
Oh, yeah. No, they're definitely.
I mean, it should have been like the world premiere could have been in Seattle.
You know what? You're just being a drama queen.
I want to. Is it the PR guy? Is he from New Jersey?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Really?
You've met him. It's Anthony.
Ah. Aha.
Yeah. You see? Come on.
That.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, but I was like irritated by that, and I'm like thinking, okay,
buddy, Jeremy, my friend, pal.
Why don't we have like a little showing for the crew? Like, shouldn't the crew see it before the world does?
That's all arranged.
It is?
You know this.
Well, how come I don't know this?
Because
you say I know this, but I don't feel like I know this.
You should know this.
I'm not really on Facebook as much as some people are.
You're blaming You're blaming.
So you're saying?
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on.
You're saying I'm talking before I.
What you're doing is you're blaming Facebook because you don't.
Because I don't really look at it. Yeah.
That's
And you're saying I'm blaming something I know nothing about. So
well,
it's
actually, what I was saying,
I'm kind of pulling a Trump right now.
Stupid. You are pulling a Trump. Yes.
I'm talking about something I don't understand.
You're talking out your elephant's ass.
So actually, really, I do that. I was just my creative way of promoting vengeance. That's really what it is. No, actually, I didn't know. But anyway,
no,
But I was like, New Jersey.
It's all gonna happen. It's just all gonna happen.
But I've got to see this, and I want to be able to see it before the average Joe sees it. If you know what I'm saying. In fact, if I need to show up at Dustin's house and stand behind him and look at his computer, I'm willing to do that. I'll even bring popcorn and whiskey.
There you go.
Yeah,
bring the whiskey and see what you can get done. You've met these guys, right?
I'm sure he'll let me in with whiskey.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And maybe some beer. Yeah. Red Hook. Red Hook beer. So yeah, that's all I had to say about that.
That's it?
Yeah,
that's it?
I just had to get that off my chest, but apparently I had nothing to get off my chest because you just told me that I'm stupid and I didn't know that it was already happening. But anyway.
Well, you got part of that, right?
on our playlist on YouTube, I
Yes.
just added I just added it. It was probably over a month ago, but I added this video that I thought was really cool on YouTube when I was just tooling around looking at stuff.
Right.
And it was about the Lorraines, the people that were involved with, the Conjuring's about them.
Oh, right.
The
Right.
husband and wife.
Right.
Which actually, not Lorraine. What's her name? Last name? Lorraine's the woman.
Right.
Lorraine and blah blah blah.
You got me. I'm just watching these going, okay.
Okay,
Ed
and Lorraine Warren.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
it's basically their house, and in the basement they have the room where they keep all the evil objects, and they have to bless it every day and all this stuff.
Yeah,
they have a priest that actually was there, and apparently the priest still goes there all the time, and they have caretakers that still keep it.
Do they have orgies in it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But Lorraine just passed away in April.
Oh, really?
So
that's
yeah.
Is Ed still around?
No, I think he passed away years ago.
Killed by a demon, right?
Probably. You never know.
You never
But it was this guy that was kind of really, really into this stuff, and he had a camera, and it wasn't a high quality recording. It was just him walking through the room.
Oh, yeah, really?
And it was really creepy, and they actually specifically said, don't touch anything.
Right.
And if you do, let us know.
Right, can I sneak past you?
It's about 96.
And then this thing in my head, like right here.
Oh, don't worry about that.
And yet I bump into one more thing, but Father says don't worry about
yes,
that.
please.
That one freaked me out.
And so there's one point where he bumped into something, and you could hear him like, I just, like, and they were just like, oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Thing is they're showbiz demons now. It's like they used to be demons, but now they only play demons on TV.
Well, they're retired demons. That's really basically what this room is. Well, so my point is, you should check out our playlist on YouTube because we have some really interesting videos.
Do we have some interesting?
At least what I think is interesting.
Well, yeah.
We have one called Cool Clips where I just throw stuff in. I'm like, this is cool. So I pop it in there. But anyway, so obviously I have a reason for bringing up the Warrens because we just saw Annabelle Coming Home, which the first podcast we did that we never released was Annabelle Creation.
Creation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That was the first
And that
one.
was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was in September of 2017.
Shocking how time flies.
It is.
While babysitting the daughter of Ed and Lorraine Warren, a teenager and her friend unknowingly awaken an evil spirit trapped in a doll. Trapped.
And the doll, the other thing I was going to point out was on the video that I put on our playlist.
Right.
I saw the actual doll, and it's not even close to being as creepy as the one you see on the movie.
Right.
It's basically just a Raggedy Ann doll, is what it is, really.
We, when we did Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Storytime.
Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq.
Storytime with Miq.
Storytime with Miq.
Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq. Storytime with Miq.
We had this really ugly animatronic doll that was supposed to be used in the very beginning, right? When Kristen is running down one of the hallways, she's grabbed the baby, right, from or grabbed the kid from in front of the fireplace or in front of the furnace, and she starts to run down the hallways, right? And when we shot it, the first time that we did it, during principal photography, we shot it with this mechanical doll that looks up maniacally and laughs and like this. And it was so bad. It was so bad that eventually we just came up with the idea that she's carrying a blanket with basically a pillow in it, and and when she looks down and it's bones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So we did that in a reshoot that went on for hours and hours and hours. It was like, it was just a night. It was literally 21-hour reshoot.
That's a long time for that.
Yeah. There was this odd argument about we set it up for being 2 days, right? And then we prepped this warehouse that had all the shots and a bunch of hallways, and it was all ready to go. And I was PMing it with Why can't I think of the name? Anyway, I was the PM, and I set it all up to be 2 days. And then they came in and they said, well, we can only afford 1 day. I said, yeah, but if you do 1 day, you're going to use the same, you're going to try and shoot the same thing. And they said, oh, yeah, well, that's no problem. I said, you'll wind up doubling everybody's pay because it's going to go on, which is exactly what happened. And finally I said, you know what, you guys are going to have to pull up some balls and tell us when we have to stop. Right. And we went 21, almost 22 hours. Wow. 16 of which Joey Rodney Eastman sat for 16 hours as they
that's right.
did the cuts in his chest, and oh boy, we tortured that guy a lot.
Well, everybody was tortured on those movies, right?
Oh yeah. No, it was prerequisite.
Yeah.
Because the making of a nightmare naturally becomes a nightmare.
Right.
I don't know why that is. It just always seemed to be part of the equation.
Yeah.
It's.
Well, 3 is the one that I always go back to liking.
Yeah.
Like, even if somebody tries to talk me out of it, and I almost buy.
It's the best film.
I like that.
Actually, out of the whole series, I mean, even the first one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
3 is totally. By far the best film.
Yeah.
I kind of like 4 because it's just such a great.
I didn't used to like 4 until I learned more about it. Then I watched it again, and I'm like, okay, I like it a lot more now. But I still like 3.
Yeah. Well, 3 is a very likable. 3 is could stand as a as a mainstream film. It just happens to be
as a standalone, basically.
It really is. It's a very, very well done film. Now let's tie that together. Speaking of, this is Annabelle.
Yes.
Which kind of has some of the same, kind of the same element of.
I like how the doll never really moved except for eyes.
I don't think the doll ever really has moved in any of them.
But I do like the subtle things with the eyes, changing like the way it's looking.
Yeah, well, but you never actually see it move other than it just falls forward.
I think they described it
something like that.
Wasn't it like it was a conduit for spirits? So
right,
so other spirits can manipulate the doll.
Yeah, right. So the doll manipulates other things.
This had a lot going on.
Very, very low. It had a lot going on. Had a very low body count.
Yeah. Very, very low body count.
Very low body count.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising.
And this was kind of an assault on your senses, like in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, because there was a lot happening at once.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of junk. Yeah. It was a lot of perfect scares.
It was almost like the best of the Conjuring series, really.
Well, it was the best of all the standard gags. Is what it was. I mean, it had the jump scares.
Yeah.
It had the
pulling.
The girl getting. Well, I had
nothing holding her. She was just being dragged.
Right. It had that one. It had the one where it's low.
Yeah.
Looking at her face, and all of a sudden she gets sucked away.
Do you know what one of my favorite ones was? This probably won't ruin anything, but where somebody's standing in a room and there's something outside going around.
Yeah, that was really good. And
there's mirrors involved and like objects that are, I won't say too much, but that was one of my favorite scenes.
And another thing about this is they have kept up the production value for the Annabelle, but at the same time, it's very practical. I mean, this
is darker though, because I remember that one Conjuring movie was really bright.
It was really bright. Well, that was the Annabelle.
Was outside during the day.
Yeah, a lot of that was outside during the day.
But was there too much fog though? Because there were some scenes where I couldn't, like where he was looking under the car hood, I could barely see him at some point. It's like, I don't know. It seemed like it was too heavy. If that makes any sense.
It's funny now that you've dealt with.
Now that I've been a fogger.
Now that you've been a fogger, right? Now you understand.
A special effects crew member.
Special crew member.
I would put it that way.
And you look at the fog and you judge it.
Yes.
See, that was the funny thing I thought was funny is you were like, oh, well, yeah, that's the low.
That's the dry ice. Which I learned from you.
The elements that are out here is you have the dry ice coming out with your oil-based fogger, so that you're getting a good spread on it. And,
sometimes there's some smoke included too.
Occasionally, you get the
Well, the dry ice was actually there was one with the first shot where it was the wide shot and you see the dry ice in the bottom.
Yeah, that was a very nice.
And it was moving, and then you had like the higher up fog.
Really expensive thing to do. Yeah, that's not actually normally done with dry ice. It's normally done with that in that big of an area. It's probably done with nitrogen tanks. And it's very.
So I still have a lot to learn about fog.
A thing or two.
You're like the Yoda of fog. And you're teaching young Luke about the ins and outs of.
There you go. But I mean, how many times was I standing there on Vengeance with a fogger burning in my hand?
Right. Well, on this kind of production,
burning.
When they use those more expensive ones that you can set in different spots,
they probably. Well, the thing is.
I mean, there's not a guy standing around going. Psh.
No, there isn't. There isn't as much. What they do is. Sort of the modern thing is to use a fan and to take a hose and ring the entire set area with a hose, a very big, like those air conditioning hoses that they use for large buildings that are kind of fiberglass and you ring a big area with it, and then you slice it with knives. And then you just fill that and you keep pumping it constantly, and it just saturates a whole area. Which would have been a great idea for us if we had absolutely any idea what we were doing from one shot to the next.
Right. And I like how the fog at some point worked itself into the house, which at first wasn't in the house.
Yeah.
And then it kind of creeped in there, which I thought was good. Nice touch.
And it was very practical for the most part. I think there was a couple of shots where they did kind of a fog that was not practical, and it was probably
yes.
I added later, and it was like
when there
really
was an
fun.
animal involved.
You could really tell the difference.
There was an animal involved there. Yeah.
That was not. Yeah, I didn't like the animal, and that was.
Well, all these things were everything that happened was an actual object that's in that room,
right?
And it's kind of the backstory a little bit behind it. I guess.
Yeah. So
interesting thing with coins that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. When they're up here,
they had and this is not going to be a surprise. They had the standard monkey.
Yeah, the monkey.
There's always a monkey. There's always.
But how perfect was the monkey's face though? Like expressions and stuff.
Yeah,
it was like
it's a monkey.
It was reacting to things like.
Yeah, I mean, I think even the rat would enjoy that.
Oh, the rat. Yes. Is he asleep? I hope. He can be mean.
I didn't see him when he came.
He can be mean when we come in. Sometimes we wake him up.
Sometimes he's just a bastard. Just a little bastard.
Well, I got a pizza the other day, and he actually ate one of the slices before I was able to.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not necessary.
No, it's not.
He could ask, right?
Right. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah, of course. He can't speak, so. Anyway. Oh, so we're having new art done.
Yes, I'm excited because.
Yeah.
I mean, our art really took so much time to create that.
You mean the one that we used for 2 years?
It took like 10 minutes to. I kind of borrowed from somebody.
Put together, yeah. Well, so we're going new art, and we're going to be part of the Dewdrop. Dewback? Dewdrop?
I like the Dewdrop has a nice ring to it. Maybe you should talk him into like, hey, you don't need Dewback.
Yeah.
Well, I think you told me his name, and I was like, oh, does he work at a library?
TJ.
That book is due back on Thursday. I'm sure he's never heard that. Of course, I'm not one to talk.
Terrible. I mean, you should. Yeah.
I have a most boring name in the world, Kurt Thomas.
Kurt Thomas.
Well, I have a friend named Bicewinger, and
yeah,
I feel bad for him. Yeah,
good friend.
We're very close.
Yeah, very close. Yeah. So, Annabelle, I like the cast a lot.
The girl was great.
Yeah, I like
you
don't
really
see
the main character, the Ed and Lorraine, very much.
I forget what the woman's name was. It's she's
the woman. Oh,
her brother's
why
in.
am I'm zooming around here.
Yeah,
okay.
why are you making it so that I can't see anything? She plays the young Warren, young Mrs. Warren. Judy
Warren. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
McKenna Grace.
Yeah, I thought she was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, Vera Farmiga.
Yeah, she's the one.
Right. She just recently
she was Norma Bates.
She was in a couple of other things.
I really liked the Bates Motel. I don't know if you ever saw that series.
No,
but
I didn't.
She was pretty good in it.
Yeah.
She was good at being kind of an overbearing mother.
Patrick Wilson, who played Ed Warren, was great. The girl was good. Mary Ellen is Madison. Katie, it was. The thing is it was also a small cast.
Yeah.
For a horror film, and
there's a couple.
They had to be pretty strong all the way through, and they were.
Yeah. One thing I liked about there's a couple of scenes where you think somebody's gonna get it.
Yeah, and
who knows if they do?
Yeah,
but it's
hard
like
to tell.
There's some surprises. Let me put it that way.
But we do have to think about this, that it is a cast of basically 3 people, and if you killed people off too fast, it would have been a short.
Well, you could have other characters come in.
Yeah,
like a guy delivering pizza, or like
or a boyfriend,
neighbor coming by.
Yeah,
hey, I heard a noise.
By. Hey, you could. You could.
You could have somebody come by and something could happen to them.
That's right.
I mean, just saying. You don't have to have the main cast die.
Yeah. Duh.
Like, what was that movie? We were watching some movie about this. It was all shot on iPhone.
Oh.
And there were multiple camera angles that were useless.
Right.
And there was this guy that just kind of walked into the danger, basically.
Right.
And he knew what was going to happen.
yeah, right. Exactly.
So, I mean, something like that.
It's important, that sort of thing. So,
but it's more effective if you're close to the character as a viewer and you're like, oh, I'm connecting with this character, and then they die.
Yeah, well,
that's more
naturally.
effective, obviously.
I was thinking particularly of a film that we watched where it's just utter lunacy cut loose in the asylum, and some guy goes out a window in a wheelchair.
Oh yes. Yeah.
falls 3 or 4 stories to his death. That was one of the finest scenes. And what I like about it is it was a complete throwaway. Yeah. It was literally in the background as everything is going on. There's a fight going on right in front of the camera, and then all of a sudden in the background, almost like an afterthought, this guy goes through the window and falls to his death.
Right.
In the wheelchair. Still in the wheelchair. That's dedication. That's an actor with dedication. Like, hey, you know what? I'm going for it. This is my moment. And I'm here for him.
Right,
I'm here for that
that's
guy.
Good. Yeah.
I'm here to say, you know what? I noticed you. I noticed you.
That might have been improv too. Might have just been like
that'd be a hell of a thing to improv. The last thing you improv.
So I liked that. One thing I did notice that I really liked was there was one scene where they used sound really good. Like there was a song playing in the background, and you hear like it was kind of a metronome kind of dinging noise kind of over and over again. And then they started bending the sound when it was just, I like how they used it as a part of the scene.
They actually gave the guy who did the music got a really strong credit at the very beginning of the film. So
yeah. And this was actually directed by somebody I don't really know, Gary Dauberman. But it was written by, of course, James Wan was involved.
James Wan again. That guy gets around. Ugh, I'm telling you.
Sometimes he disappoints me, though.
Oh, this guy looks like a cleaned up version of...
Talk about Gary?
Peter... New Zealand Peter. New Zealand Peter. The guy that I actually have met and talked to several times. Yeah. That guy, Peter Jackson. He looks like... maybe he's Peter Jackson Light.
Right, and he's mostly a writer. That's interesting to me that he
James the director,
The Nun,
yeah.
So I mean, obviously he has some talent.
Screenplay. There you go.
But it's mostly writing.
It's funny. A lot of the beats of this
he's only directed this one.
Did remind me of it. Sort of the beats and the timing of it. Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting though. But this is the only one he's directed, the only one he's credited for. But he's been tons of screenplays.
Ah, there you go. Oh, only one director credit. Well, you know what?
He did a fine job.
We hope to see you in the future.
I think I would shake this man's hand.
Well, not just to shake his hand.
He would probably make it.
How would you rate him?
Let's just put it this way.
His film?
He probably told his entire crew, "Hey, we're going to show the movie. Everybody come look at it." He probably had dailies even. Isn't that crazy?
You're really a pain in the ass.
I am a pain in the ass.
You're just.
Anyway, I'm just pointing that out.
One experience, and you're just like, oh, yeah, just.
Well, I don't know any different, so
I know.
I just like to complain.
You know,
and
what?
I know the guy.
Go.
The guy that directed that one thing we talked about earlier.
Yeah, right, exactly.
He'd probably be annoyed by me right now.
Go with your strengths. Right? You're very.
I can hear him sighing right now.
There's no doubt that you're very annoying. Go with your strengths.
I can hear him sighing.
Okay.
And then hitting that vape pen.
Really, just tearing into it, aren't you? Okay. So what would you rate it?
This actually, I like this one a lot. In fact, I felt that there was a point where I was a little worried because a lot of stuff was happening. A lot of things were happening. Things were coming out of everywhere. Stuff was flying everywhere.
You were worried. You were worried for.
Is this going to go too far where I won't like it anymore? And it almost did. But it didn't.
But it didn't.
No.
No.
So I give it a really. I don't think I want to give it a 4. Might be too generous. 3.8, 3.9.
I was going to go 3.5. I was going to go 3.5.
I'll be generous and say 3.84.
3.84.
There you
3. That's not even enough to go to the 3.85.
Because this director really stuck that landing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, overall, I would say it's a good, solid, well worth watching film. You'll jump a couple times, and you'll come away satisfied.
The end was okay, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say anything how it ended, but it was...
Yeah, it was...
Basically.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with...
with my gesturing?
With your gesturing, yes. That's exactly what happened. So, anyway, you got anything else?
Nope.
I thought we've covered it all.
I think so. There's no wonderful stories or anything?
I already threw a story in, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Well, kind of. I mean, you talked about your illustrious career, as always, which I appreciate.
Wow. It's just...
that was actually a compliment.
No, was it? Yeah, I'll get over it. Well, thank you very much, people. Bye.
Yep. Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.